Super Bowl 60 is here. It's Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We finally made it to Super Bowl Sunday. I'm so excited because it's Super Bowl 60. That means 6 free picks today, plus a bonus touchdown score that you guys are not ready for. Stay tuned for this video. It's going to be a little bit of an extra long video for the Super Bowl. We're going to break down these picks and go right into it. But before we get into the picks breakdown, guys, if you're new to betting, on like maybe the Super Bowl, you're like, oh, I'll bet on the Super Bowl this year because it's always fun to bet on, and you're signing up, you don't know where to go. Let me tell you guys where you can get a ton of value betting on different platforms, okay? Let's start with Chalkboard. Chalkboard is going to give you a free pick and a 100% deposit match up to $100. So you can deposit $100 and get another $100 when you use my code TEACH10 on Chalkboard. And Chalkboard's handing out profit boosts, and they give out free squares. I'm sure they have a free square for the Super Bowl. I don't know exactly what it is, but they have free squares. Go check that out. So that's $100 of value right there and free picks. Plus, they hand out profit boosts a ton as well. Next up is Betr, the Betr platform. Same code, TEACH10. When new users sign up to Betr, you'll get free $10 for the game. You'll also get a 100% deposit match up to $100 as well. So another $100. That's $200 of free value right there. Also, for the big game, Betr's going to give you a Drake May free square, so he's throw for 1 passing yard, and you boost out your lineup. Okay, so that's value for Betr. And then Novig, a newer up-and-coming platform, giving you a 100% deposit match on $25. So you deposit $25, you get another $25 for free. So it's $225 worth of value just from signing up from these 3 apps and depositing to play, okay? So now that that's out of the way, quickly before we get into the picks breakdown, guys, we've been betting on the NBA a lot recently. I've just been kind of waiting for the Super Bowl to happen. All right, here's plays that I've hit recently in the NBA. Okay, I hit this a few days ago on the 5th. Hit both of these slips back-to-back days last week, or like a week and a half ago at this point now, but hit those slips recently, so we've been kind of doing pretty well in the NBA. So that's where I'm at there. Just want to show you guys that. Obviously, there's ups and downs in this, and it's the Super Bowl. Anything could happen. It could be a crazy game. Let's get down into the picks breakdown. It's 6 picks, and there's 6 overs too. You're probably going to hate me for that, but it's how I feel. I'm trusting my gut on these, because the stats aren't always going to line up with the Super Bowl. It's 2 of the best teams in the league meeting, right? So obviously they're going to have good defenses and good offenses, right? So the position matchups won't always add up. My favorite play for the Super Bowl, it's sitting right in front of you on your screen. It's right on my jersey. It's Drake May over 261.5 passing and rushing yards. Yes, I'm a little biased because I'm a Patriots fan. Sure, absolutely. But this is really how I feel about this game. A lot of people are thinking, oh yeah, tough defense is going to be very close games, like maybe not a lot of scoring. I kind of tend to disagree with that a little bit. Like, I'm seeing this, I could see both teams in like the high 20s or the low 30s. I think this could be a lot more scoring than people actually realize. So let's get down to the picks breakdown. Drake May over 261.5 passing and rushing yards. Over the last 10 games, nothing crazy. 6 of his last 10. Last 2 games, hasn't even sniffed 200. Well, this one kind of sniffed 200, but not even 200 yards. Well, played the game in the snow, all right. He's fumbled a bunch recently in the past couple games. Snowed in like the second half of the game. 2 tough defenses. They're going up against another tough defense in the Seahawks. I understand. On the season, he's hit this in 70% of his games. Now, people are going to say, oh, schedule, blah, blah, blah. Didn't face tough defenses. It's tough to win in the NFL and tough to perform, especially in the second year for a quarterback like Drake May. I truly believe he's going over this line. He's averaging 275.9 combined passing and rushing yards per game this season. And look at the majority of the games. So, yes, you want to think about recently in the playoffs. Sure. Look how steady he has been for most of the season. Let's look at the games where he's missed. Missed by 1 against the Dolphins in a close win. Didn't come close in a blowout win against the Panthers. Ran for 2 touchdowns in this game where they were up against the Bills, and then the Bills came back and Patriots lost. He ran for 2 touchdowns in that game. Didn't even throw 200 yards, or didn't even combine for 200 yards. Blowout against the Dolphins, doesn't even have to do anything. Snow game against the Texans, snow game against the Broncos, and arguably the 2 best defenses in the league. And the third being the Seahawks that they're facing. Those are the top 3 defenses, however you want to split it up. So that's where I'm feeling. How has he been doing for most of this season? Get rid of this, take the snow factor, the weather factor out of this game. Is playing in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl. It's going to be nice weather. Drake's getting ready to unload that arm. People are saying, well, with the shoulder issue, dude, I don't think it really matters. Even if he does have a little bit of a shoulder bug, he's going to be healthy. He's had 2 weeks to recover and get ready. They're going to give him whatever drugs he needs to prepare for this game. He's going to be totally fine. He's going to go over. He's going to have to use his legs against and be creative against this Seattle defense. He's going over this game. Look, Seattle, top 10 in passing, top 3 in rushing. So, I mean, say what you will. I just truly believe Drake May is going over this line. Is that a bit of Patriots bias? Sure, maybe. But I genuinely just, in my gut, believe that he will from just an objective football standpoint. Play number 2, Jackson Smith-Njigba over 10 receiving targets. If you do not believe that Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to get targeted 10 times in this game, then the Seahawks might as well not even play this game and they're going to lose. I think it would be absolutely absurd if JSN doesn't even get 10 targets this game. We're going with the targets and not the receptions because who knows who he's going to be facing. Is he going to be lined up against Christian Gonzalez the entire game one-on-one? Is Carlton Davis going to be lined up on him and they're going to have his safety help? Who knows? Rashid Shaheed's kind of an X factor there because he can run these clear-out routes and that can free up some stuff from JSN underneath. But if you're telling me Sam Darnold's not going to throw it at JSN at least 10 times in this game, you're absolutely crazy. That's where we're taking the targets, right? He doesn't have to catch every ball. Sam Darnold's going to want to throw his way. Last game against the Rams, threw to him 12 times, right? Big playoff game, NFC Championship game, threw to him 12 times, right? Divisional round, blow out the 49ers, doesn't have to target him. This is going to be a good game tomorrow night. People think the Seahawks are just going to blow him out. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think it's egregious that the line is 4.5. Well, I shouldn't say egregious that it's 4.5, but I think it's crazy. I truly think this is a coin flip game, and people are disrespecting the Patriots a lot more than they should be. 10 targets for Jason. If Jason doesn't get 10 targets, I don't even know what to say. This is absolutely insane. He's getting 10 targets. It is happening. We're kind of throwing out the stats, not necessarily just throwing out the stats, but really just going with our gut. What do you really think is going to happen in this game? Truly. The Patriots are 11th in the league in receiving yards, receiving targets allowed at like just under 30. I mean, I think both teams are going to have to throw and rushing the ball a lot. Like, it's just going to be a lot of action in this game. JSN is going to get targeted at least 10 times. Pick number 3. Okay, so those are our first two. Pick number 3 is Kenneth Walker over 99.5 rushing and receiving yards. Kenneth Walker's been an absolute beast in the playoffs. He's hit this line in 6 of his last 10 games. He's averaging 94.3 combined yards. On the season, only a 42% clip, so he's actually outperforming what he has been most of the season. So as we've been getting later into the season and into the playoffs, Kenneth Walker has stepped up. Now also that's come at the expense of the Zach Charbonnet ACL tear, so Kenneth Walker's had to take more of the load. George Halani's trying to get into the offense, trying to use him a little bit more. I can see Halani making a play or two in this game as well, but Kenneth Walker's going to be the workhorse. Let's go over the last 3 games, okay? Against the 49ers in just an absolute barn burner 13-3 game, rushes for 97 yards and catches 36 out of the backfield. Next game. So they have the bye, so that's week 18. Then they have the bye in the playoffs. Then they come into the divisional round. All right. Played the 49ers again, blow them out. Not even close. 116 rushing yards, 29 receiving yards. Then NFC Championship game, 62 rushing yards and 49 receiving yards. So he's done it 2 games where he's essentially rushed for 100 yards and caught a few balls. And then he's also done it where he's had a good mix in the most recent game in a tough, close game. Well, if we think this is going to be a tough, close game, or even if it's going to be a blowout, or not, they're not even going to score a ton of points, Kenneth Walker's still going to run for pretty much 100 yards, and he'll catch 30, 40 yards. Yes, Halani will probably be used some in this game, of course, to give Kenneth Walker a breather, but he's the workhorse, dude. He's hit it in 3 straight games going for 100 plus. He's going for 100 and plus this game. I think there's going to be more points scored in this game than people really believe. I just don't. I don't know. All the noise, I'm trying to block out all the noise, and what do I really believe is going to happen in this game? Kenneth Walker's combining for 100 plus yards, rushing and receiving. The Pats are top 6 and then top 9 for rushing, receiving yards, respectively. Against running backs, they're a little bit worse against receiving yards, a little bit better from rushing yard standpoint. Kenneth Walker's just going over this line, dude. That's truly how I feel about this. That's why I'm taking these overs. I really just truly believe there's going to be more points in this game, more volume, more action in this game than people truly believe. Pick number 4, Mac Hollins over 27.5 receiving yards. Now, he's actually hit this line in 8 of his last 10 games, so he's had a good rate against his prop, averaging 53 receiving yards combined, or on average in the last 10 games, right? It's at a 100-yard game mixed in there. Obviously, dealt with a little bit of injury. He was out for a little bit, but he's come back. The first game back against the Broncos goes for 51 receiving yards. He was huge. He caught that nice play action ball of Drake May in the top left corner with like 2 guys chasing him down. Snow's pouring down on the field. Snow's covered in the field. Drake puts it right in there. Mac Hollins picks up a nice huge gain. I almost thought doing longest reception for Mac Hollins, but I'm sticking with the receiving yards because I think he's still going to be an X factor in this game. He's going to get targeted a decent amount. I don't know what the share is going to be between him, Diggs, Hunter Henry, is Demario Douglas gonna pop off for a play or two, no pun intended. But 27.5 yards feels easy because he's averaging 14.5 yards per reception. So in theory, we get 2 receptions. We're good. But he's catching almost 4 balls a game over his last 10 games. Now, he only got targeted twice in the game against the Broncos and caught both of them. But look at these other games where he's caught 7 balls, 6 balls, 4 balls, 3, 4, 7 throughout the season. We just need him to catch 3 or 4 balls, and we are chilling. The Seahawks actually aren't the best in terms of receiving yards allowed as a defense. 12th in the league, giving up over 212 yards. And against wide receivers, they're actually better. So they're not as great as against tight ends. So that can become a factor. We start targeting Hunter Henry, and then they kind of lock in on him. Mac Hollins can be opened up elsewhere. Mac Hollins is just so solid, dude, and he's kind of like been all reliable, but he's not really all reliable, if that kind of makes sense. When you need him, he shows up big on like third downs. Really just love this play. I think the line is way too low, even with how good Seattle's defense is. 2 or 3 catches, we got this easy. Okay, so that's pick number 4. Pick number 5, Ramondre Stevenson over 24.5 receiving yards. This has probably been one of the most popular prop bets taken for this Super Bowl. I think just based on what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing as well. Also because he's been doing it pretty well as of recent. Well, you take away the snow game. Okay, fair. Didn't really catch a ton. In the Miami game, only caught 22. Well, he rushed for like a zillion yards, so that didn't really matter. He still got a ton of yards. But he has had a good amount of games this season where he's gone over the line. Didn't really do much in the middle chunk of the season, but the last, 7 games, he's at 4. He's at 5 in the last 7 games and went for 75 against the Chargers. He had that one long reception where Drake just kind of dumped it off for in 3 yards in front of him, and he just ran off with it. Why can't that happen again? I really do feel like that's going to happen again. Ramondre's been the workhorse in the playoffs. Travion hasn't been getting the ball all that much. I think Travion will actually play a little bit more in this game. It might be a bigger threat out of the backfield. Not only just running, but maybe catching the ball as well. Ramondre's been doing that incredibly well as well. He's had an incredible journey from all the fumble problems early in the season to Mike Vrabel having his back and just trusting him, and he's been incredible this playoff run. I just think 24.5 receiving yards, he can get the job done. Why? Catches about 2.5 balls per game with an average of about 11.5 yards per reception. So 2.5 targets puts us pretty much right at the 24.5, 25-yard line. So we just need him to catch 3. We just need him to catch 3 balls. If we catch 3 balls, we're probably good. He'll break one of them for at least 15 to 20 yards, and we'll be chilling. So that's how I feel about that. Against the Seattle defense, against running backs, don't defend as well. 24th in the league in receiving yards allowed to running backs, giving up a little over, on average 35 receiving yards or more to running backs. So I that's where I'm feeling there. A bit of a weakness in the Seahawks defense. I know Ramondre can get this done. Now, For the sixth and final play of our sheet for the Super Bowl 60, it's Sam Darnold to throw over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Why? Well, he's only done it in 4 of his last 10 games, but this is the Super Bowl, baby. If you don't think Sam Darnold's ready to step up and throw some touchdowns, well, you have something else coming for you. Also, Sam Darnold is 0-4 against the Patriots. We all know the famous line where he said he was seeing ghosts against him in that Monday night game, or whatever that night game was. Threw 3 touchdowns last game against the Rams. What was impressive to me was about less than 2 minutes left before halftime in this game, in the NFC Championship game. Seahawks get the ball back. Instead of just kind of running the clock out going into halftime, they're like, nope, we're going to get the ball and we're moving down the field and we're going to go throw a touchdown. Exactly what happened. Rams go down, score. Seahawks go down, score. That to me signaled, it's not like the Seahawks are just like, we're just trying to skate by, shorten the game. We don't have to do anything. Let's not make mistakes. They're like, no, let's be aggressive and go after it. I don't see why they're going to stop that mentality now. It's got them all the way to this point. So Sam Darnold's throwing for at least 2 touchdowns. Patriots defense is about, middle of the league in passing touchdowns allowed, giving up 1.5 per game, so right where the line's at. I know he doesn't done it consistently, but it's playoff time, maybe. It's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest game. Sam Darnold's throwing for at least 2 touchdowns. So that is my 6th play. Before we get into the last final bonus play, let's read off the list of plays so you can all see it with your eyes. Feast your eyes on it. Take a screenshot, whatever you want, so you have it. Drake May over 261.5 passing and rushing yards, my favorite play for the Super Bowl. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 10 receiving targets, not receptions. Kenneth Walker over 99.5 rushing and receiving yards. Matt Collins over 27.5 receiving yards. Ramondre Stevenson over 24.5 receiving yards. Sam Darnold over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Now, so those are my 6 plays for Super Bowl Sunday, all overs. I have a bonus touchdown score that I mentioned at the beginning of the show for plus 1,000. You'll never guess who it is. Let's just pop right to it. It's Marcus Jones to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Now, you're probably thinking, are you freaking crazy? Are you out of your mind? Yeah, I am. Right? Why not? It's fun for the Super Bowl to take some crazy prop bets. We all do. Whether you're betting on heads or tails, the color of the Gatorade, the fun bet everyone takes over 2.5 guys to attempt to pass in the Super Bowl is always a fun one. I like this as a fun touchdown score to root for. Why? Well, he scored 4 touchdowns this season. All right, one against the Panthers, one against the Bengals, one against the Giants, and then one against the Texans 2 games ago. Remember, C.J. Stroud got hit, ball pops up, blah, blah, blah. Marcus Jones catches it, runs it in, pick 6. Marcus Jones also returns punts for the Patriots as well. It's been the best punt return in this league based on yards per return. He's averaging 15 yards per return, which you probably think isn't a ton. But that's actually crazy when you think about having how many punts do you actually able to catch versus the ones that are touchbacks. How many chances are you really getting? How many times are you getting the ball punted to you? Marcus Jones is freaky athletic. Also, something that I remembered. This happened. How many seasons ago was this? This must have been the 2022 season. Yeah, it was a game against the Bulls. It was a primetime game against the Bills. I'm betting on the NBA too much. It was a primetime game against the Bills. He caught a screen pass, not like a tunnel screen, but he just caught a screen pass, ran it for 50 yards for a touchdown, lightning fast. That's when I remembered his name. I was like, who's this guy? Marcus Jones? Incredible utility player, great on defense as well, incredibly fast and athletic. Maybe Sam Darnold throws a pick. Maybe a ball gets tipped and goes his way. He can return a punt. He's going to have so many opportunities. I love this for the value that we're getting at plus 1,000. I think it's just a fun bet. Profit excess is at 2,000. Novig has it as almost 2,000. This is an incredibly fun bet to root for. If you don't have a dog in the fight in the Super Bowl in terms of you're a Seahawks fan or a Patriots fan, I think this is a fun bet to root for, a fun guy to watch out. Number 25, Marcus Jones. So that is my high flyer touchdown scorer for the Super Bowl. I think that's just a really fun play. It makes me smile, man. So going back to the bet slip, these are my 6 bets for the Super Bowl 60. We've made it this full entire NFL season. It's been incredible. I can't believe the game's finally here. I can't believe as a Patriots fan we made it to the Super Bowl. I was cool with like 10 wins this season. Time to get Super Bowl 7 for the franchise. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you do enjoy these videos. If you're watching the Super Bowl, tune into this video, and I will see you all. Ooh, before we get out of here, if I sweep this lineup, if we crush all 6 picks, everyone who likes, comments, is subscribed to this channel is getting my free VIP picks for a month. For a month, you're getting free VIP picks. It's normally $50 a month. You're getting it for free. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the other side of Super Bowl 60.